Hello, Todd A. How you doing, buddy? You guys hear me yet? Can never tell when this thing actually starts. Boris the Piper, hello, my friend. Short visit to say hi. Cuban and Scottish. Well, you have a great time there, Boris. Thanks for dropping in. So we got Boris stopping in. We've got Todd A. Anybody else out there? Signalman Tony, hello there. Good to see you, Tony. And Pipes and Bees, hello. Good afternoon to you. Good to see you, my friend. Well, the way things usually work on Saturday is the crowd builds slowly, and that's fine. West Virginia Grizzly, how you doing, buddy? And Everett Young, how are you, my friend? So I have one of my favorite corncob pipes, quite an old corncob pipe that I really need to make a stem for, but never have time for that. You can see how well smoked this is, and I'm smoking some Carter Hall in it today. Been switching back and forth between Carter Hall and Haunted Bookshop. Piper on the 45, how you doing, my friend? Shy Oak. And Paul Benner, good to see you guys. Monty Piper, hello. So as you probably know, because you tuned in, so you probably know, but this is a giveaway live stream that I do once a month on Saturdays. And the prize today is going to be this stem. This is a stem that will fit any country gentleman's size Missouri Meerschaum pipe. And that's pretty much almost any pipe they make that has a filter in it. This stem will fit. It's acrylic, it has a Delrin tenon, takes a 6mm filter if you want to use it. If not, it smokes just fine without it. What's up, mate? Good to see you, buddy. Let's see. Oh, did Sarge put up a video? I heard from him earlier today, and he was really pleased with the 860 pipe. So I'll have to check that. I've been down here all day. It's been a no rest for the weary kind of thing. Came down about 7:45 or so, and thought I'll get a few things done, and next thing I knew it was 3 o'clock. That's because I enjoy what I'm doing, and because my wife's away, so I get to play down here and she doesn't mind. Although if she knew about it, it would still bother her. Isn't that interesting? So if you did tune in last night, we had a great show last night with Eddie Gray, really well attended, and Eddie's a great guy. Enjoyed talking to him. About 8:15, right as I was sort of gearing up to give Eddie a call, my phone rang, and I could see on the phone it was my wife, and I declined the call. She's off in Pittsburgh visiting her family, and I said, I specifically said, just don't call me between 8 o'clock and 10 o'clock. And she knew what I was doing. She knew why and everything. So I talked to her late last night, and I said, why did you call me? And she said, I just didn't look at the clock, and I dialed your number, and then I looked up and saw what time it was, and I went, oh no. So it wasn't intentional, but it's just funny. She didn't call me all day. But she just chose that exact moment that I asked her not to. But she's wonderful. She's visiting her family in Pittsburgh, and whenever she goes to Pittsburgh, she always makes a stop at the Leaf and Bean in the Strip District and comes home with some nice cigars for me. So I can't complain. So we're going to do trivia again, and I think we'll wait until we get to about the half-hour point, because that'll make sure we get enough guys coming in. Let's see, oh great, we do have more guys in here. So Armchair Piper, hello Ed. I think I saw Paul the Scandinavian there. Sorry, the things fade away, so unless somebody says something, I won't be able to read them. There might be a way to make them stay longer or keep them up permanently, but I don't want to mess with it while I'm live, because I'm certain I'll screw up the stream, and that wouldn't be good. So I'm slowly chipping away at the backlog of pipes that I've been trying to clear. I think another week and I'll be very close to done. And then there's a few guys that have asked me to contact them when I'm done, and I said okay, I'll keep a list, but I'm gonna really limit it after that, because I just need to somehow be more creative about this. I can't get to the point where I have to spend all my free time working down here. It's just not fair to my wife or really to me. So we'll get that sorted. So what are we all smoking today? Here we go. Yes, it was Paul the Piper. Hello. And son of a gun. That worked. What did you guys do with Mike? Can you not hear me, guys? Paul the Piper's got some Escudo. Ed, I don't understand your comment there, but I hope everything's okay on your end. Portsmouth Piper, hello. Pipes and Bees is telling me to get an apprentice. Do you want to move? Everett Young's got some Big and Burley in his Brigham Voyager. Very nice. Carter Hall, West Virginia Grizzly. Same here. Yeah, Michael Case, I try. I try. It's a challenge sometimes, for sure. And I got to be fair about it. It's all entirely my fault, and I love doing it. Otherwise, I would have gotten into this situation. Process Bird 17, how you doing? Sir Walter and a 7LE Trevi 602. Sounds good. And Paul Benner, that worked once. Isn't that odd? Oh, there we go. Paul Benner's got some Sir Walter Raleigh. Jimmy Tabacchi, how you doing, buddy? Smoking some American Patriot in his Good Old Country Gentleman. Sounds good, Jimmy. I've got my Good Old Country Gentleman here with some Carter Hall in it. So you guys that have just come in today, we're doing a giveaway trivia contest, and the prize will be the stem on this pipe. It's a patriotic themed acrylic replacement stem for the Missouri Meerschaum Country Gentleman series, Country Gentleman size pipe. Monty Piper, first bowl in a cheap no-name unfinished pipe. You polish the stem and stain the briar. Good deal, Monty. I'm sure it looks great. Yes, Everett, everybody needs a Country Gentleman. If you're only going to have one corncob pipe, and I have several that are not Country Gentlemen, but I honestly never smoke them. I use some of the smaller ones sometimes if I'm tasting, like a blending tobacco or something. Michael K says, having some haunted bookshop in a Peterson. And hey there, Tony513, good to see you, buddy. What's up, mates? Got some St. Bruno. Good stuff. Big Dave, how you doing, buddy? I hate that I have to keep taking these off and on, but I can't see the screen without them. I can't see the print without them, but I can't see the monitor with them on. So it's quite a pain. And that's funny. Sometimes when I touch it, it lets me bring the things back, and or maybe it just coincides with somebody putting a comment in, and I've just trained myself to think I'm doing that. It could be. Everett's got 8 legends. And Big Dave just had some great Mexican food. I envy you, Big Dave. What did I have for lunch? I made a grilled cheese sandwich. I got to do my own cooking because my darling wife / cook is out of town. And I miss it on the weekends most, because on the weekends she usually makes a late breakfast brunch. So I get up early and eat breakfast, and then I have the brunch as a lunch, and it's great. Ron also had some tamales and refried beans. Fantastic. Monty Piper's got some C&D stovepipe. Artie's Place. How you doing, Art? Spoken of La Gloria Cubana. Very nice. Yeah, Tony, I skipped the tomato soup. It's too hot for soup. Hey, Everett, that's fantastic. Everett got permission to smoke in his own apartment. What's Up, Mate is saying try BI equals vocals. I don't know what that means, What's Up, Mate. I'm going to try touching something here and see what it does. Pipes and Bees had a, yeah, I love a good tomato sandwich as well. Todd A's having good old peanut butter and jelly. Nothing wrong with that. Burley Nut Bob, hello. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I always put the on grilled cheese. I have to have thinly sliced onion and tomato on it. I don't like just plain cheese and bread. And Paul, I think if I saw that right, Paul had a chicken sub, which is just fine, Paul. Oh, I got you. What's up, mate? Yeah. The problem is I'd have to have them with no prescription because I can see fine at a distance. I just need these for reading. I guess I could do this. Maybe I'll try that. Sorry, I keep putting my hand. I'm trying to find a setting that'll let me keep the chat on. Oh, thanks, Burley Nut Bob. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, it was Eddie was just so easy to interview and such an interesting guy. Sergeant Savinelli, how you doing, my friend? Someone mentioned that you did a video with your tribute pipe. I'm really looking forward to catching that. Yeah, I think it was Ron H. that mentioned the Mexican food in Pennsylvania is not quite that good. But I happen to live in an area that has a fairly significant Mexican immigrant population, and there are a few restaurants that are actually very authentic. Mostly just takeout type places. So I'm lucky in that way. Jeff Burke, hello there. How you doing, my friend? Hey, Sarge, we got to try to get you pinned down as a guest for the Friday night conversation with Pipe Smoker at some point. I know you work at that time, but maybe we could find a way to swing it if you ever have a free Friday night. This is why when I'm doing the Friday night live stream, I have the laptop in front of me, so I can actually keep track of all the comments. And I'm still using the tablet that you're seeing now, but it's setting a little bit further back. All right, Sarge, I'll definitely do that. That'd be great. So now I'm just there's like nothing between me and the tripod that's holding you up, so I don't have any where to put the laptop. We'll figure it out eventually. Don't let your meatloaf. No, Jimmy, this is actually the original amber stem. I have to make a new one. It fits my teeth very well. Because I've had this stem for a very long time. And every once in a while I have to heat it and go in there with a little blade thing to sort of open it up again, because the plastic slowly collapses in it. Someday I'll make a stem for it. Like this one. So if you tuned in late, we're at about the half-hour point, so in about another 10 minutes, we're going to be having a trivia contest, and the winner is going to win this red, white, and blue Country Gentleman size Missouri Meerschaum replacement stem. It's a nice acrylic stem. It has a Delrin tenon, and it does accept the 6mm Medico filters. So, nice addition to your corn cob collection. And I've got some good trivia questions today. Paul the Scandinavian, hello there. Corvette Jim is here, so we can get started now. How you doing, Jim? How you doing, Paul? There you go, Jimmy. You set me up perfectly. Yeah, Big Dave, it is a challenge. He's asking if it's a challenge to hold the tolerance when you're making a new tenon on the lathe. And it's, you got to kind of sneak up on the final dimensions, and the most important thing is you want to make sure you support the tenon, because if you got a big enough lathe, you can put the stem all the way, the stem blank all the way through the headstock and just have the tenon sticking out. I don't have a big enough lathe for that, so I have to have the whole length of the stem. And what happens is, even though you can't see it, it deflects. So if you measure you're taking off more material when you get close to the stem blank, the end of the tenon that's furthest away from the stummel, than you are at the opening of the tenon. So you have to put something on the other end to support the tenon so that it doesn't deflect when you're cutting it on the lathe. That would have been much easier to explain with a picture, but I think you get it. Yeah, Delrin is a beautiful material, Sarge. It machines wonderfully. It doesn't fracture like acrylic does. I really like it. Makes a lousy pipe stem. Just doesn't feel right. But for tenons, it's great. And I don't make acrylic pipe stems without using a Delrin tenon, because the acrylic is just too easy to break. And I probably replace more broken acrylic tenons than any other tenon type. Never had to replace a broken Delrin tenon. Had to replace many 7LE. They use a plastic that's not Delrin. Many of those, and certainly a lot of acrylic, and the occasional ebonite that is usually because somebody puts a pipe in their pocket or something like that. Yeah, Big Dave, the other trick, that's right, you're a machinist, aren't you? So you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. The other trick that took me a while to learn, but now it's pretty much automatic, is you just drill the enough of a hole in the end so that you can get some kind of support, like a live center or something like that, and never drill the entire airway until after you've shaped the tenon, because you're weakening the material by taking that material out from the middle, and you'll get some deflection in the material just from having that hollow space. And that's something that nobody tells you. You just have to kind of figure it out. I think I have come to the end of my bowl of Carter Hall. Try one more light. My pleasure, Paul. I can drone on about machining stems for hours on end. I'll show you a stem that I'm working on right now. This was fun. So this is a replacement for an Ashton. This is made out of a Cumberland, brown Cumberland. And the owner sent me another Ashton stem that was kind of chewed up, and he asked me if I could take the Ashton, what do you call it, inlay, out of the stem and put it into the new stem. And I said, I don't know. I'll try it though. And I just finished this up earlier this morning. It hasn't been sanded yet, so you're going to see the epoxy on there and everything, but I was actually able to remove the inlay from the old stem by kind of carving around it using various little carving bits. And then once I got underneath it, I just heated the whole thing and got in there with a dental pick and was able to just lift it up. And it was really neat. It came out just like a little tube. It was a lot deeper than you would have expected. So I was able to make an Ashton replacement stem that way. It's pretty cool. Now we're definitely out. So I think we're gonna pack the Nerup, and we're gonna go with Haunted Bookshop. I've been, since I opened that tub of Carter Hall back on Carter Hall Day, I've just been going back and forth between those two and been in Burley heaven. Somebody was asking last night about Burley Blends. What's a good Burley blend for somebody that wants to get into Burley? And there was lots of really good suggestions. And it got me thinking. I have a couple of tins of Solani aged Burley and things like that in my cellar. And I remembered the Cornell and Deal Burley Flakes, and I really love both number 1 and number 2 of the Cornell and Deal Burley Flakes. And that's all I can think about now. I've got some of those in the cellar too. I try not to break into those, but you got to smoke them eventually. So next time you see me, I might be smoking a C&D Burley Flake. Oh, we're getting close to the 30-minute point, so we'll move on to that soon. Yes, Sarge, I have had quite a few of the Alec Bradley Black Market. The original Black Markets, I know he's got some newer ones that I haven't tried, but I've actually bought a few boxes of the original Black Market. They're quite nice. But I haven't had one it's been a couple years. I used to buy a lot more cigars than I do now. Yeah, they're really good smokers. Everett, believe it or not, I have no M4 Kentucky in the cellar. None at all. I should. Somebody told me not to buy it though, so I've been trying to be a good friend and support you, buddy. Steph and Skip, you missed nothing. Sarge, by the newer version of M4, you mean the M4 original? All right, Everett, thanks for the go-ahead. I will do that. Okay. I don't remember if I had the original. I'm sorry, I've had the original. I don't remember if I had the. Oh gosh, this is going to be complicated. The original. But I've had the newer stuff, and I liked it. So if the old stuff was even better, that must have been really nice. Groovin' Piper, how you doing, Cody? Good to see you. Gotcha, Steph and Skip. Well, thanks for that. I appreciate you guys coming on and listening. I'll have to keep my eye out for some old stuff then, Sarge. Don't know if that'll ever show up. Sounds good, Cody. All right, so we've crossed the half-hour point, so why don't we go ahead and get the giveaway going. So, again, this is the prize. This is an acrylic replacement stem for a Missouri Meerschaum corncob pipe. It will fit the Country Gentleman or any similarly sized Missouri Meerschaum pipe. And that means pretty much any Missouri Meerschaum pipe that takes a 6mm filter. The stem is acrylic. It has a Delrin tenon, and it accepts the 6mm Medico filters. And I can, if you win and you would prefer it bent, I can bend it for you. Just let me know. All right, so the way we're going to do this on my feed is going to be the person that wins that particular question. I have to stress that it's my feed because the timing can be different. And I'm sorry, but there's nothing I can do about that. So you're just going to have to trust me when I say that that's the first correct answer. That did you lose me, Everett? Now I'm worried. You have to trust me when I say oh, I'm breaking up. That's not good. Well, let's hang on and see if it gets better. Just let me know if it gets any better or not. Hey, Couch, how you doing? Okay, it's back now. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. It can be glitchy. I'll start over. So we're going to do, I know you saw the pipe because some folks commented on the stem. You saw the stem. You only get the stem if you win, not the pipe. So we're going to do a trivia contest. And I'm going to ask a question, and the first correct answer by my count, so I'm going to have to rely on my stream because the timing is different on different people's computer. The first correct answer will be added, the person that gives that answer will be added to a final round. And we're going to do that 3 times, so there's going to be 3 finalists. And then once we get to the final round, I'm going to ask 5 questions, and the person that gets the most correct answers will win the stem. And I do have some tiebreaker questions if they're necessary. So the first 3 questions anybody can answer. If you've won in the past couple months, you might want to hold back, but I'm not going to get too hung up on that. So anybody can answer the first 3 questions. Then after that, we're going to limit it, and I'll explain that as we get to it. All right, so let's go. Question number 1. What American tobacco comes in a tin? The tin has a white dog on a blue background, and it is an American tobacco. Ron H. got the correct answer. It is Granger. Sergeant Savinelli was a close second, and Tony 513 coming in third. So Ron H., you will move on to the final round. All right, we'll hang on a minute and make sure that everybody is done answering that question. The correct answer was Granger. I'm sorry, guys. I know there's a lag, and but it's funny sometimes to see the answers pop up later. All right, here we go now. Question number 2. Sherlock Holmes' companion, Dr. Watson. This is a true or false question about Dr. Watson. Sherlock Holmes' companion, Dr. Watson, also smoked a pipe. True or false? Corvette Jim. So close. Pipes and bees. Ron H., you got the correct answer first, but you're already in the final round, so there's no point in you answering at this point. So the next correct answer was pipes and bees. The answer is true. Watson did indeed smoke a pipe. So pipes and bees is in the final round with Ron H. No problem, Ron. No problem at all. All right. Question number 3, and this will be the last question to qualify for the final round. Which fictional pipe-smoking detective only smokes cigarettes when portrayed on screen by Humphrey Bogart? Which fictional pipe-smoking detective? So he did smoke pipes in the books, but when he was portrayed on screen by Humphrey Bogart, he only smoked cigarettes. Armchair Piper, you got it, Ed. It was Marlowe, Philip Marlowe. And Paul the Scandinavian comes in second. All right, Ed, congratulations. You are also in the final round. All right, guys. Paul, Columbo is close. Cam Newton. Good to see you, Scotty. Inside Private Eye. There you go, Wisconsin Wooden. I know, Sarge, the fat thumbs do not help you out in this game. All right, so now I'm going to say this before each question, so I hope you don't get bored with me. Only the 3 people that are in the final round should answer questions from this point on. So please do not answer the question if you're not in the final round. And in case you forgot, the 3 people in the final round are Ron H., Pipes and Bees, and Armchair Piper. Okay? So just you 3 guys should be answering. Everyone else hold back. And we're going to do 5 questions now, and whoever gets the most correct answers is going to be the winner. All right. First question. What term is used to describe the carbonized deposits inside the bowl of a pipe? Ron H. Ron H. got it in just a bit before Pipes and Bees, and the correct answer is indeed cake. So Ron H., that gives you 1 point. And we'll move on to the next question. And guys, if you could, please don't answer unless you're in the final round, and try to keep the conversation down a bit while we're going through this final round. All right. Here's question number 2 of the finals. What is the name of the rough top part of a piece of briar when it is used in pipe making? Oh man, Ron H and Pipes and Bees very close again, but Ron H got it in just a bit before. Good job, Ron. That gives you 2 points now. The correct answer was indeed plateau. All right, so currently Ron H is leading 2 to nothing. So this last question, if he could win it with this last question, or somebody can still sweep it. All right, and I saw somebody say that it was lagging. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. Hopefully it's not lagging for everyone. All right. This is an interesting one. Here we go. What is the essential characteristic of a windshield pipe? That is not correct, Pipes and Bees. No, Ron H, that's not correct. The essential characteristic of a windshield pipe. I wasn't sure if anyone would be able to get this one. Probably should have had a timer. I didn't know this one. Armchair Piper, you want to take a stab at it? The essential characteristic of a windshield pipe? Can you see mine? Not sure what you mean, Ed. Yeah, I think that is indeed a pass. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna call that question invalid or unanswered or whatever. Paul the Scandinavian knows the answer. Do you want to go ahead and give it, Paul? There you go, Red Coach Return. You got it. Yeah, the correct answer is that the bowl is basically higher in the front than in the back. I did not know that. I don't know that I've ever seen a windshield pipe, but yeah, I knew that might be a difficult question. Thanks, Paul. Yep, saw that. Okay, so we'll just consider that a non-question and move on. Fortunately, I got a few extras. Circle gets the square. Thanks, Sarge. I'm no Peter Marshall. All right. You got that, Ed? I did not see the answer come up. All right, well, I'm sorry, but we just have to move on and skip that question. All right, next question. Who is thought to have made the first sandblasted pipe? No, Ron H., it is not Peterson. Armchair Piper. The correct answer is Dunhill. Well done, Ed. Yes, Alfred Dunhill is at least thought to have made the first sandblasted pipe. All right, so we now have Ron H. with 2 and Armchair Piper with 1, and Pipes and Bees is in 3rd place. Guy smoking in the Sahara. There you go, Redcoat's return. All right, next question. And guys, please remember, only the 3 guys in the finals should be answering these questions, okay? What country does Drama tobacco usually come from? That's Drama, D-R-A-M-A. No, Ron H., that is not correct. The key word is usually. Armchair Piper, I'm going to accept that it is Greece. No, Pipes and Bees, sorry. That is not correct. I think Armchair Piper got it correct. He's probably typing on a phone, which none of us can do very well. There you go. He corrected it. The correct answer is Greece. So very good, Ed. Well, we got a contest. Very interesting. So Ron H. originally took an early lead with 2. Armchair Piper now has tied him up with 2. So let's move on to the last question. And unless we wind up needing a tiebreaker. Okay, are we ready? And again, only the folks that are in the final round should answer this question. So only those 3 guys. What tobacco type takes its name from an English queen? Armchair Piper, you got it, buddy. Well done, Ed. The correct answer is indeed Virginia. Good job. So that gives Ed 3 points and means that he has indeed won the match. So thanks much for playing, guys. Ron H. came in a close second with 2 points. Pipes and Bees, it was just a rough go for you today, buddy, but there'll be another one next month. Thanks, Sarge. So Armchair Piper, if you could please, you've got my email, just email me your address and let me know whether or not you want the stem bent, and I'll get that in the mail to you. So great job, guys. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do you want? I got one more question on the list. I had 10 altogether. I was keeping one as a tiebreaker. I was keeping 2 as tiebreakers, but you know. Do you want the 10th question just for fun? I'm going to give it to you anyway. Just for fun question. What was the most commonly used pipe making material before Briar? Yardism and a whole bunch of other people got it right. Yes, clay is indeed correct. No, maple, pear, cherry wood. Cherry wood actually I think came after briar. The others were not used very much because they weren't very heat resistant. And clay was the earliest pipe that you would recognize. I mean, people smoked out of holes in the ground, you know. So, but a pipe that you would actually carry around. Clay was early on. Bone was probably used, as was rock in some cultures, but they were not the most commonly used before briar. And Meerschaum came along before briar, but it was very expensive and was not anywhere near as common as clay continued to be. Morta, I'm not sure about that, Scotty. I think Morta might be a more modern innovation, but I could be wrong. And yeah, the plastic pipe, Big Dave, sadly, that still has not moved into its own. Skull of a dead goblin. All right, Josh, I will check that as soon as we get off here. Thank you. I'm going to keep this to an hour because I've got other things that I got to get on with this evening. Yep, bamboo is another one. Brylon. Yeah, a lot of these materials are valid answers if it was what was used before briar, but it was what was the most common material used before briar. Big Dave, the tobacco plants are doing really well. They're the one is pretty much as tall as me at this point. All right, Monty Piper, thanks much for joining us. Enjoyed having you. Towel over a bushfire. I'm not going to ask, Paul. All right, Sarge, thanks for joining us, buddy. You take care. Have a good rest of the weekend. Very old pipes left by aliens. All right, what's up, mate? Thanks much for joining us. Have a good evening. Actually, the very earliest, I wrote a blog post about this. The earliest tobacco smoking was done in exactly that way, Paul. It was just a matter of like lighting the plants on fire and inhaling the smoke. And sometimes they would do things to try to concentrate it, like put something over the fire and hold it for a bit and then open it up. And then the next sort of big innovation in smoking was they would dig a hole in the ground and actually just bury the like a coal in the tobacco, poke a little hole in a mound that they formed over it, and then they would lay on the ground and smoke through that hole. And eventually they put reeds into it, and it became a communal thing where people would sit around the hole of burning tobacco, and then somebody got the bright idea of being able to carry that around with you. And here we are. Redcoat's return. Thanks much for joining us, buddy. Have a good night. And Wisconsin Woodsman, thanks again for joining us. Good to see you, buddy. The Indians did use pipestone, Big Dave, and that's some cool. That red stone is really cool. And I have a clay pipe that was given to me by Kilted Piper Steve that is absolutely beautiful. It's an Indian pipe, but it's one that was made out of clay. And I've seen the red rock ones that are also very nice. Josh, I would not be surprised if that were true. Ron H., thanks. You take care. Have a good one, buddy. Thanks for joining us. I don't know what a pipe hawk is. Is that an Indian pipe? Groovin' Piper, go finish your yard work. Thanks for joining us, Cody. Was that secondhand smoke there, Ed, or was that intentional? Gotcha, Big Dave. Yes, I have seen those. Don't have one. I like to... All right, Jim. Thanks much for joining us. Have a good dinner. I like to smoke every pipe I own. So I try not to go for the I hate to say novelty because those are serious pipes, but you know, the ones that I know I'm not going to take out and smoke while I go to the grocery store, you know, while I'm driving. I tend to like to have pipes that I know I can pretty much smoke anywhere, and I don't like to own ones that I'm not going to. So I have a calabash that I actually restored in a video years ago. And that poor thing, I've probably only smoked it 4 or 5 times, and it smokes beautifully. It's just kind of too cumbersome for smoking most of the time for me. You can't clench it, and you can't have it when you're driving, and so I try to avoid those sorts of things. So I got a question for you. Somebody contacted me and asked if I knew of any sort of simple program, probably to use like on a cell phone, for putting music and sort of front images into videos. You know how I have those, like an image shows up for a few seconds and then it fades into me. Does anyone know if there are any, you know, easy to use programs like that? I mean, the one that I use is CaneRod, which works great, but it's a bit onerous to learn. Power Director. Does that work on the phone, Chad? And I guess the other question is, okay, good. And I'm assuming that's something that you purchase, but it's probably not terribly expensive if it's a phone app. So that ought to be okay. I've been thinking about doing a video on how I edit in CaneRod, just because it's one of these programs that you open it up and you think, how am I going to use this? But it's really simple if you only want to do a simple edit. And I've worked that process out so that I can do it pretty quickly. And I thought it might be useful for folks that want to get into editing on the computer, but don't know where to start. Boris the Piper, you're back. And Ron, you smoked the calabash in your truck? Is that it faded out before I could finish reading the comment. While shifting gears, wow. Thanks, Chad. I will pass that along. I appreciate it. Well, Ron Hardcracker's Ward, you're quite skilled then. I mean, if I could clench it, I could do that. I mean, I drive a stick shift and I smoke a pipe all the time when I'm driving. But if I'd have to actually hold it, well, I guess I could hold it and keep my arm against the wheel. Yeah, I could probably do it, but I'm not going to. That's pretty cool, Ron. WKR Piper, how you doing? Yeah, I'm seeing some comments go by on the wildfires in California. It's just incredibly bad. So I hope any guys out there that are in California are okay. Move VI and what was the power director or Kai Master? Okay, I'll make note of those. Thank you, Jimmy and Ed. Yeah, they still make manual shift transmissions, Big Dave. They're hard to find, but they do make them, and I insist on them because I don't trust the automatic transmission. There, I said it out loud. I did, before I bought my last car, I did a test drive, and it was, trying to remember what dealer it was. It might have been a Subaru dealer. And those are, I pick the cars based on whether or not I can get a standard. And it was either Subaru or it might have been Hyundai, I can't remember. But I was going back to the parking lot of the car dealership, and I had to cross, it was a 4-lane road, and I had to make a left across 2 lanes of traffic. And the car that I was test driving was an automatic, but they promised me that they could get it in a standard. And I pulled up to where I needed to make the turn, and I was waiting because there was oncoming traffic, and I'm very cautious about making left-hand turns because, you know, I am. I actually had a bad accident doing that a long time ago. And so I'm sitting there, and I probably had plenty of time to make the turn, but I didn't. I waited for the cars to go by. And the dealer's sitting in the back seat. My wife is sitting in the passenger seat. And the dealer leans over and says, "Wow, you really don't trust automatic transmissions, do you?" And that wasn't the reason, but I just let him believe it. Yeah, Ron, that's the truth. They do last longer. So Subaru doesn't even make the shift anymore. Yeah. Yeah, Paul, that's my hope. That's my sort of light in the darkness. I know that in the EU and actually many places outside of the US, the standard transmission is quite common. So I could always get one imported. All right, Ed, you take care. Have a good evening. And don't forget to send me that email. Scotty, you last manual was in '98? That's not that long ago. Oh, Boris is echoing that in Europe they're mostly manual, but he is driving a standard now. Huh. I'm sorry, an automatic now. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do with my next car. You know, as you get older, you're supposed to move into the more comfortable cars. And one thing I worry about is I have a lot of knee problems. You know, I've been getting cortisone injections in my knees and stuff like that. So I don't know. Working the clutch may not be an option for me down the road. So we'll see what happens. Briar Blues, hey, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you, Mike. And who was 3? Jeff Burke was 3 in '98. How's that make you feel, Scotty? Yeah, you got that right, Briar Blues. The standard does provide some degree of theft protection. Well, Big Dave, what they told me was, so there's, I should know this, but you got your kneecap, and then there's a layer between the kneecap and the rest of the joint that's called the meniscus or lemniscus, something like that. And I don't have them in either knee. And it's really strange because you'd think something like that would be kind of a slow degenerative process. I seem to have just woke up one day and had knee pain and never had it before. So it's completely gone, and what the doctor told me is they'll do cortisone injections until they stop working, and then I'll get new knees. And I'm not thrilled with that, but we'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to put it off as long as I possibly can. Well, folks, I've finished that pipe. Just see if anything else came up here. Buy a boat and put wheels on it. There you go, Jimmy. I guess that's true, Mike. The longer you wait, the longer the recovery will be. Yeah. I know quite a few people that have gotten, the knee implants and just have never gotten their, the use of their legs back again. And that kind of scares me. And I don't know if that's common or if I just happen to know a few people that had really big issues. But, I like to walk. I like to have the use of my legs, and I'm just worried that getting that surgery done might cause more harm than good. Pretty one is called a hibiscus in my knee. What? I only use matches or a Bic lighter. Is a Zippo pipe insert a good purchase? Jeff, that's a question that you're going to get. If you ask 10 people, you're going to get 10 different answers. I don't. If you mean this pipe insert, the standard Zippo, they work fine, but I have Zippos that don't have them, and they work fine too. If you mean the butane inserts, I've never used them. I don't like butane because it seems like the lighters just conk out very, very quickly. That's just my problem. So the exercise after, that makes sense, Mike, that it would depend on that. And as I think of it, the folks that have had trouble with it tended to be much older and much less likely to do the proper physical therapy and exercise after. So yeah, that's probably a really good point. Well, that's good to hear, Boris, that somebody that had it done is recommending it. I just wanted, there was one other comment there that I half read. So you've had the truck for quite a while then, Ron. Wonder if it's possible to take a Zippo and conform it to a pipe lighter? You mean take a standard Zippo and like drill out the insert? I wouldn't. You can. Zippo will give you the insert if you send the pipe back to them and tell you want the insert. I believe they'll swap it just for the cost of shipping. So that's the. And you can buy the insert separately as well. Yeah, you could try it, Jeff, but just send it back to Zippo and ask them to do it for you. Yeah, processed bird. I have them with and without the insert, and I don't really have much of a. You have to remember to hold it differently, but other than that, I can light a pipe with both. Well, folks, we went a little over the hour, but the conversation got interesting. Thanks for joining me. I really had a good time. Congratulations to Armchair Piper on winning the replacement stem, and I'll be getting that in the mail to him early next week, I hope. So again, thanks all for joining me. Had a great time. You all take care, and remember to tune in next Friday for the virtual pipe club. Probably won't do a video this Sunday, but we'll see. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Bye now.